Hey everybody, Lorelia here doing a quick video about the topic of business credit. And not all, as the title says, not all business credit is treated equally. And what do I mean by that? So the last couple of videos, I've been talking about business funding, accessing business credit. Recently, I just did a YouTube live where explaining about my partnership. All these texts are coming up, so that's why I'm moving. About a recent partnership that I've embarked on, helping individuals get access to business funding, grant subsidized loans. Hey, how you doing, Kenny 205? Thanks for joining. So, the common thing that I'm noticing is that there is a difference between learning about business credit and getting access to business credit. What do I mean? What do you mean, Lorraine, about that? I'm all for education. I'm all for learning. I've did videos on it in the past where I said no one can take this away from you. And what do I mean by this? Meaning what you've learned. But what is hindering people to get access to funding in the landscape? Hey, how you doing, Trina? In the landscape of business is that everybody thinks that here on this platform, whether it's YouTube, social media, that all everything is the same. Everything is treated equally. And unfortunately, that's not the case. If you look at just, let's take fast food, for example. I'm not going to go into if fast food is good or bad, but we all know that McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, and I don't know. I can't think of another burger place right now. All sell cheeseburgers. But even with them all selling cheeseburgers, they all have something different that differentiates themselves in the marketplace. So when you go to McDonald's, whether you go there or not, you know that whatever you get is going to be different than what you get at Burger King or Wendy's and, In-N-Out Burger or whatever. The list goes on and on. Shake Shack or what have you. You know that. If you go to Shake Shack or In-N-Out Burger, it's going to be different than what you're going to get at McDonald's or Burger King. So one would not never think that if I want a cheeseburger, that cheeseburger is going to be the same, whether I go to In-N-Out Burger, whether I make it at home, or whether I get it at McDonald's. It's not going to be the same. And it's the same when it comes to business funding. See, a lot of people, and this is the problem that I have with learning. A lot of people have taken some class in regards to business credit. And like I said, kudos, I'm never against learning. But what happens is that after you've immersed yourself in all this learning and all this education, you're somewhat still in the same place you were prior to you getting the education. Yeah, I know I'm going to step on some toes with this one. So here you have a person is armed with all this information. I know how to do this. I know how to do that when it comes to business credit or business funding. But yet and still, they're not getting no funds. So you mean to tell me your business credit gurus, your business credit, leaders, your authorities in this space are not telling you how to get funding? Because my thing is this: what good is business funding? Learning about it, understanding about it, if you're still in the same place that you were. So a lot of people are coming to me because I'm doing, I do the consultations or what have you in regards to business credit. And they want me to, I guess, decipher how what I do is different than what it is that they've already got in the past. And I've, whenever I have a consultation and I encounter that, I let people know from the door, that's not my role. My role is not to give my opinion on what someone else is teaching. My role is to not say what they are providing to you is good or bad. But what I will say is that at the end of the day, only you can decide if what you got is worth it. The problem is that if I'm going to learn about, if I'm going to pay all these $1,000, hundreds of dollars or what have you to learn how to build business credit, and then at the end of the day, I'm still not getting any type of business funding, because at the end of the day, most of these business credit, I guess, online seminars are pretty much a cookie cutter approach. It's get some net 30 accounts, get some trade lines, and there you have it. And so you still kind of stuck behind the 8 ball. Even a platform like NAV, most people consider NAV their go-to place to get access to business funding, business credit, or what have you. And I really shouldn't use those terms simultaneously. I'm going to do a video on that. There's a difference between business funding and business credit. So let me say NAV being a place where you want to get business credit, but a lot of those providers will provide you with business funding. So that's why I use the term simultaneously. Your business, gurus may have not told you that. But with that being said, if you notice, if any of you, and this is no recommendation to use them or not, but most of the time, when you use those providers that they recommend, I believe if you pay for their upsell, they will, give you an advisor who will, look at your credit and then give you a recommendation on who you should use or get a credit from, business credit from. Whether people want to admit this or not, they still ask to see any of those providers, your personal credit. Personal credit still has a place. I'm telling you, people, that's why I said not all business credit is created equally, because so many people are being bamboozled. I just finished talking to a professional in the business lending space. She's a former student of mine. She's went off. She's doing some great things. Her and I were talking, and she was telling me some of the buffoonery that is in the marketplace. And what do I mean by that? People straight getting raped. They're getting raped. And the reason why they're getting raped is because, unfortunately, when you have a group of people that look like myself, in terms of I'm African American, I'm a black person, and the other person is a black person, we kind of, want to be super cautious with dealing with each other. But yet and still, we'll go to someone who doesn't look like us, who don't come from the same lineage. Like I said, I'm stepping on some toes with this video. And we will believe everything that they're telling us is straight truth. That's why I say, right here, that's why I say that I'm not against education. I think education plays a part. Continue educating yourself, continue pouring into yourself, continue investing in seminars or workshops or what have you. But what you do not do is not be clear on what it is that you want, because that's what I'm noticing, the disconnect. I don't think nothing's wrong with education. I sell education. I sell workshops, I sell coaching. But what the problem that I have is that when a person does invest all of that and then they feel like they didn't get it. Now they feel like, well, oh, I'm going to come to you and I expect to not invest in nothing because I didn't get what I wanted from the other person. And at the end of the day, many people do not start from the place of, what is it that I want? See, if you start there, if you say, okay, my goal is to get access to funding, whether it's business credit cards, business lines of credit, whether it may be I want to, leverage my personal credit and get an unsecured loan. It may be a myriad of things, because like I said, there's so many ways that you can get funding. And if you start with that, now you can say, okay, my goal is I'm looking to get X amount of dollars in funding. Okay, I want X amount of dollars in funding. Do I want it in a business credit card? Do I want it in a loan? Do I want it as a line of credit? Do I want it as, do I want to leverage my business receivables, my business assets? Like, there's so many ways. You see what I'm saying? And I think that's the disconnect, is people do not know what it is that they want. So they're just assuming that I'm going to get it here. And then when they don't get it, they feel disappointed. That's why I said I do not give no opinion on what it is someone else is selling in the marketplace. Because at the end of the day, a lot of people do not even know what they want. Do you know how many times I've asked people when they do a business consult, how much funding do you need? They don't even know. They have no idea. They don't have no idea how much funding they need. I think my car is about to turn off soon. And I've always asked the question, well, in the event that you were to get X amount of dollars with your funds, what would you do with it? And I know one may be watching this video and say, well, you know what, that may not be none of your business, Lorelia. Maybe they don't want to share that with you. And that may be the case. But at the end of the day, you don't tell no one, then you won't get, the right answer to what it is that you want. And that's why so many people will end up in that situation. I bought this, but I didn't get that. You probably was never, that person probably was never going to offer you that. Because there's some people who are in the marketplace of just selling you education. Like, they're not going to put you, connect you with the funders, the funding sources that can help you fund your business endeavor. Maybe it's because they don't know. A lot of what you see here in the marketplace is really a cookie cutter of what someone else is telling you. So that's why with the program that you may have saw the YouTube live about, is where I'm telling you, okay, this is a source. Actually I came aboard with 2 sources this week. They, and at the end of the day, you have to see what it is that you are looking to obtain. You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of times people will come to you and say, well, I know this, I know that. And I always tell people, if you know so much, then what are you calling me for? Why isn't that you do not have the business funding that you want? So that's why I'm not going to make this video that long. Why I said not all business credit. Thank you, Kenny. There's a sun glare, so I can hardly see. Is not treated equally. Because, like I said, everything is different in the marketplace. That's why I made the comparison with the cheeseburger. Don't just assume it's all the same. But I will say this. I have, like I said, there's, please go to, cashflow.yourmoneymentor.com if you want to do the 15-minute consultation, if you have any questions in regards to business credit. If you're someone who's looking to leverage your personal credit, we could talk about that. some unsecured um, lending sources that I can assist you with. If you're looking to build your business credit, I can help you there. Um, and and like I said, no, this is not an education thing. A lot of people have asked me, "Oh, are you going to sell me a class?" No, this is not a class. I feel like there's enough people in the marketplace giving you all classes. Let them. I think there's a place and a time and a place with a class, but right now that's not what I'm offering. I'm not offering a class. And there's nothing wrong with classes. Like I said, you know, continue to get the education, because a lot of people are being raped out here. They're seriously being raped. The Vaseline is being placed on what, and people are straight getting jabbed. So continue getting education. Continue doing that. But if you are ready to pull the trigger, you're ready to get access to funding, contact me. I'm at cashflow.yourmoneymentor.com. And yeah, I look forward to talking to you and run to you. Exactly. And that's usually what happens, Kenny. You know, people are getting jammed, and then now they looking for somebody to be the savior. And that's why I always say, know what it is that you want. Because one thing I'm not doing, I'm not in the convincing business. That's why I said, people, as a business owner or someone who's looking to get into business, the number one thing that people will always happen to is a very large part of what it is that a marketplace wants. I'm not going to spend time trying to convince people why they need business, working capital. That's why I said in my last YouTube live, I said there's two schools of thoughts. There's one school of thought where people feel like you start a business, you use very little capital as you want, you get that business going, and then as you grow, then you scale, and then that's when you get a working capital. Then there are some people who believe that you start with working capital first to be able to get started with your business. So with that being said, there are still two primary areas where working capital plays a part. And with that being said, that's why I'm not going to spend time convincing people what it is that they need. Continue taking your classes and learning everything about business funding, business credit, or what have you, and you will still be in the same place as you were, next year, this time, still doing research. But like I said, for those who are ready to pull the trigger, please go to cashflow.yourmoneymentor.com. If you want to get access to the 100K and grant subsidized funding, that is a program that is it's not a government giveaway. So I don't want people thinking I'm telling people you're gonna get $100,000 in free money. There ain't no free money. This is not freebie. This is the ability to get access to capital, and you can get up to 100,000. There's things required of you: business plan, projections, financials, tax returns. It's pretty much it is a full doc program. But the good thing is that if you stay compliant, you can get access to the capital. So once again, this is Lorelia. I'm signing off. Like I said, go to cashflow.yourmoneymentor.com, and I will talk to you.